Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. A moment ago I was noticing that we might be having a nice sunrise to see this morning. At least we'll be able to see it. Probably the sky is too clear for it to be a spectacular sunrise, but at least it looks like we're going to be able to tell where it comes up, all being well. We'll know in about 10 minutes. Okay, now, I was noticing when I looked over at my paint rack here yesterday, I've got two XF23s. Well, if I can show you. Now, why did I buy those? Do you suppose that when I was going through my choice of paints way back before when I first got this kit, and I was trying to decide what am I going to color, some of the Mr. Hobby paints I could not get, and so what could I get an alternative of? And I'm wondering if possibly Mr. Hobby 104 that I couldn't get, I chose this color right here. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. I should have written it down. However, we're going to do a test today and see what would this look like. I'm getting several comments from people that are kind of saying, I don't know about this 56 for the deck. And my experience has been, and this is my fifth big model now that I'm working on. My experience has been listen to the viewers, because some of them, in fact probably all of them, have had a lot more model building experience than I have, and their choice of color for something is probably going to be better than mine. Most of the time I think I do listen, but sometimes I don't, and I realize afterwards, gee, I should have listened to what that person said. So what we'll do is we'll do a couple of swatches today, one of the 56, and then right beside it this, and we'll see which looks the better. There's no big rush on this. I don't need the deck for a few days anyway. We got. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we do. We need it right here in step 12. Okay, now here's the other alternative. I was online this morning, and one of the hobby stores here in Winnipeg actually has the Mr. Hobby 104. And they've got, according to their website, they got 3 in stock. So, maybe I could get them to courier it over here. I doubt very much if they're going to have the fast service that Eliminator had, but I don't know. Maybe I should look into that. I just don't want to spend the money because, if I bought the 3 jars of 104, when I probably would because it seems to be hard to get, and then the courier fee, I'm probably looking at about $25-30, and I don't know if I want to spend that if this that I've already got is going to be good enough, or just as good, or maybe even better. It might look more realistic. I'll know when I see it. I can envision what a painted metal floor should look like, and I was thinking that this 56 is a little bit too dark. Okay, so why don't we just sort of recompose here. I don't think I've got anything else to flap my lips over. We'll just let's do that. Let's do a swatch, and I'll find a piece of plastic. I pretty much used this one up. I'll find something. Okay, let's do it. Okay, here we are in the color guide, obviously. And here you can see where Trumpeter has recommended the Mr. Hobby 104. Nowhere is there anything that it is recommended to replace it with, if you can't get it. And nowhere in the Tamiya call out is there a number 23. So I must have thought to myself, okay, I can't get this 104 that I need. What is something in Tamiya that I can get? And I replaced it with this. Am I beating a dead horse here? Okay, now here is the deck that we're going to be needing shortly. Well, by shortly, I mean in a couple of days. It actually goes right on here, like this. Now, if I turn this like this, we can see where that sub, you might call it a torpedo tray, is going to go right on the bottom here. Something like this, okay? Now, when we view this part, we're going to be viewing it from this side, looking in like this, okay? Unless the hull was clear, which it's not, at least on the other side, we are not going to be seeing this right here. No matter how hard we try, we're not going to be able to see it. So I'm thinking, why don't I use this right here to make our swatches on? Because I can't find any other clear plastic other than that piece that we were looking at a few minutes ago that has, paint all over it. So, yeah, I'm going to use this to do the swatch on. Once again, am I beating a dead horse? Now let's be careful here. We don't want to break this off. Okay, here's something really interesting. I just opened up my what I thought was a brand new jar of 56, and it hadn't been used before, and I was wondering why am I having such a hard time getting the lid loose on it. When I opened it up, I realized that it looks like I possibly did use it, and it's over half gone. So I'm just going to add it to this diluted 56 here, put them both together, and yeah, that's kind of too bad. Okay, which one of these lids is the most grungy? I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, that's garbage now. Alright, we'll mix this up and we'll use this one. There's not enough anyway. There's not enough 56, so if I wanted to use the 56, I'd have to order more. I think I'm still going to go ahead with my test and just see how this 23 will look. Either that, or maybe what I should do is bite the bullet and spend the money and order the the 104 like I originally had wanted to do. There must be something else we can do, to get into past step 12. I still got to paint all the little pieces that have to go on here, right? So it's not like the build is going to come to a standstill or anything like that. Okay, change in plans here. I know I had said that I was going to use this as a mule. Well, I've changed my mind. I'm going to try something here with this Stynylrez primer. And I'm just sort of going to flood it on and just sort of cover up this area here. This may or may not work. This Stynylrez dries very, very quickly. I might have to do a couple of coats. I will take it and put it on my dryer in the kitchen, and I'll give it a second coat here. I probably would have done better to have done this differently. Yeah, I don't need to do a real good job. I just need to get it sort of evened out here. Oh, by the way, we had an interesting sunrise. It wasn't what you would call beautiful, but it was interesting. I'll show you later, providing that I remember to do it, that is. Okay, I think I'm getting this even here. It's starting to thicken up, so Okay, I'm just going to take that in the kitchen now and dry it. And then I'll put a second coat on, and then we'll do our test. Now, I was realizing a while ago, and I think I may have even mentioned it in the video, that I'm noticing that this is possibly too blue. The swatch looked really, really blue. So let's just put some on here, and don't want to waste it. Okay, that should be good. I think that's gonna dry, and we're not gonna see the Steinelres peeking through. Maybe it could be a little bit heavier here. Try and get rid of some of the bubbles if I can. Okay, let's leave that now. And probably about an hour or so ago, I did order the paint from the hobby store. I wasn't able to get it from Eliminator, so that means we're not going to get it delivered today. I got it from Hobby Sense. They're the ones that had it here in Winnipeg. And unfortunately, the Eliminator did not have it, and if they did, they didn't have it online. And I know I've mentioned this before. If you're a store these days, you've got to have absolutely everything you've got online, even if you think it's something that you're not going to sell, because somebody somewhere might want it. Remember when I went to pick up the submarine at Hobby Sense? About what was it? A couple of months ago now? I can't remember. Anyway, when I picked it up, I videoed myself walking through the store. I think a lot of you will remember that. And when I did that, somebody in Australia noticed that they had something that he wanted, and he ordered it from them. He was willing to pay the shipping all the way from Winnipeg to Australia to get this particular item, which wasn't available where he was. And what do we got going on here? Some kind of bubbles or reaction? Oh no, that's raised plastic. Okay, I don't think I better mess with this anymore here. Yeah, so if you're a store here in these days, you've got to have everything you've got online. Otherwise, you might lose the business. So I would have much sooner have dealt with Eliminator, because they're a lot closer to me, and they have a courier service, whereas Hobby Sense does not have in-city courier service. So, which is too bad. They might want to think about that. Okay, let's let this dry and see what it looks like. Okay, over here on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see my cursor moving. My video from yesterday's episode is completed, and well, this is it right here. I'll just click on it, and Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to drag it into YouTube, and we were going to see if the new modem seemed to be any faster. So here we go. Some of you will recognize this process because you will have probably done it yourself many, many times. Okay, create, upload video, and we are going to drag it into right here. And as soon as we drag it into the upload spot, I'm going to start a timer, and we'll just see how long it takes to complete. Now, after I do that, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff, like the thumbnail and some other stuff that I do, which I will cut out. But the overall time should be accurate. Okay, so here we go. All right, it is uploading right now. And it says it's going to take, right now it says 16 minutes. That'll probably go down. That's usually the way it goes. It goes up and then it slowly goes down. Now I suppose now it won't, because we're trying to do this. Maybe something is going to go wrong here. Maybe because I've got the screen recorder going, it's sort of slowing everything down. Because the video itself isn't that long. What does it say over here? See if I can... the video is only 19 minutes and 16 seconds long, so it's starting to go down now. Okay, but this is a pretty big file here. If we if we check the properties, what do we got here? It's 4.07 gigabytes. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Details, we got 60 frames a second, well, 59.94, and yeah, it's 4K, 3840 by 2160. That's 4K. So it's a big video. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Okay, I'll be starting the timer when I process this out later. But in the meantime, now I'm just going to go ahead and do a lot of other stuff. Like I'm going to upload the thumbnail that I've prepared, which is this one right here. You're gonna recognize that probably. Okay, so we got our thumbnail going on, and then there's some other stuff that I'm going to be putting in and doing. But I'll be sort of kind of doing this off camera, you might say. So we'll see you back here when I'm done. Okay, I think I pretty much got everything the way I want it here. A bit of time has passed, and our uploading has really sped up. We've only got, what does it say there, 37 seconds to go, 34 seconds, 31. As soon as it gets to 0, I will stop the timer, because that will mean that it has uploaded. So I think it's faster. I think the new modem is faster. Anyway, 11, 8, 5, 0. Okay, it's uploaded. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Okay, well, I told you I would tell you if I could, and I did the best I could to graphically tell you. Now, somebody had suggested that possibly this piece that looks like it's actually a light, which is actually right down here, like this is where the deck is going to be, and you would step over it to get through the doorway. I know that's not what it's called on a submarine, but I can't think of the right name right now. Anyway, this light is way down here near the deck or the floor, and someone has suggested that it might actually be a red light. Now, the reason that they gave was so that you can't see the light from the outside, but on the other hand, you can't see in submarines don't have windows, and so it doesn't. I don't think that's the case. But it could be that for some reason it was red, although it's not colored red in the color callout. I do have some red LEDs, but they're really big ones. They just would look completely out of place here. So maybe just for the fun of it, I'll paint the top part of this the number 335, and the bottom part, just for the fun of it, I'll paint it red. I mean, what's it going to hurt, right? I don't think anybody's going to know for sure. Where does it go? It actually goes right here. Yeah, it actually goes right there. So in reality, it would only be about. I got to give it in feet because I think that way because I'm 6 feet tall. Well, I used to be. Anyway, so it's probably if I was to stand right here and my head would be up here, I would think that this is maybe only 2 feet above the floor. So yeah, okay. Now another thing. A little while ago, I got an email from the hobby store, and to indicate that they have completed my order and it's out for shipping. Now, at Canada Post hasn't picked it up yet. They may by the end of the day. It's not going to be here till Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, that's. Oh yeah, now I know where I was going with that conversation. I may have ordered the wrong kind of paint. In other words, the 104 that I ordered might be the gloss, which means that I'll have the color right, but I'm going to have to spray it with flat clear afterwards, which, isn't impossible. It's just an extra nuisance. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and paint the top of this with the 335. And all these other pieces, I'm going to paint them with the 335. And this one here, there's a lot of detail on it. It's some sort of a vent, I believe, because it looks like, if you look at it up really, really close, you can see that there's some sort of grating going on. Maybe when I do this one, I'll put on the macro lens so that you can see the grating. And also you'll see where I'm sort of maybe putting it on too thick. I wonder if I should maybe do, it would be a lot better if I was to spray these. It would be a lot better. The problem is, I find with spraying, I was going to say 10 times as much paint, because so much of it is overspray. So much of it ends up in the filter of the spray booth. Whereas if you paint with a brush, you lose very little, except what you clean when you clean up your brush at the end. That's all you lose. So it could well be that it's when you're spraying, well, it depends on what you're spraying, of course. I'm talking about little pieces like this. I'm not talking about large areas, like the hull of a ship or even this piece here. I'm not talking about that sort of thing. I would imagine that on painting a piece like this with the airbrush, you only maybe use twice as much paint, not 10 times as much. But these little pieces, yeah, you waste a huge amount of paint. But I don't know. Am I just sort of killing time here so I don't have to paint? this part here that I'm touching right now, that almost looks like flashing, but it's not. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. Okay, I think that this is going to go towards the back. Yeah, I think this, or does it stick out? There's a positioning pin there. I should have maybe checked. Oh, I'll just paint the whole thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is, oh look, there's some flashing from a push-out pin that I didn't take off. My pressure cooker is done. The last of the cucumbers that I had canned, a couple of months ago, I guess now, that Merv brought over, maybe more than 2 months ago. Anyway, so I'm going to have cucumber and rice, tiny bit of ground pork, about 50 grams of ground pork. There's a little bit of oatmeal in it. It's going to be quite the soup. Now remember, we're going to be painting these wheels, what was it, red or green? Green, I think. So we don't need to paint the wheels. All that's going to happen is I'm going to end up filling in around the spokes. Now this is going to be red on the bottom, so we don't need to paint the bottom. This is the fire extinguisher. This is our light that we were going to paint red on the bottom, so we won't paint the bottom. And this is the one that I said I was going to put the macro lens on, didn't I? You know what? I just looked in the glanced in the monitor, and you can actually see the texturing. I don't think I'll bother with the macro lens. Now, I don't want to put it on too thick here. Let's just see if I can sort of almost dry brush it in. You maybe have to give it a couple of coats later. You can see where there's. Try and hold it so that you can see the grading there. I know that this isn't as good as if I was to airbrush. I realize that. I'm not going to argue with anybody who is telling me airbrush is better. The airbrush is better as far as a quality job goes. Okay, now try and get the top here. That may be too much. Let's see here. This will shrink wrap to a certain extent, but I'd like to have it sort of scrub it in all the little grooves there. I think it's going to come out good. You know, I may not have to do a second coat. Okay, let's sort of quit while we're, as I often say, not too far behind. Okay. Now, have I got everything here? Where's my other glasses so I can see? Okay, I think what we'll do now is we'll clean our little brush and we'll let these dry. Don't know if I want to have time to do the, what time have we got here? It's only 1:28, that's not too bad. I do have a coffee visitor coming though this afternoon, so. You know, I think maybe what I'm going to do is call her quits here. Oh, the sunrise. I worked on it. It's nothing spectacular, but it's unusual in that watch for the sundog to appear at the end. It was very cold this morning. I didn't mention that, but I think it was minus 20 something. And I guess there was enough moisture in the air that we had what we call a sundog. There was probably one on the right-hand side as well, but we couldn't see it because the houses were there. Anyway, watch for that. You know what? Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow. Now, I didn't realize it while I was speaking there, but a few seconds later, my doorbell was about to ring. And I just know there's people that want to see that. So here we go with something extra. I'm coming, Missy. I'm coming. Come on in. Make yourself at home here. Warm your paws. Warm your paws. Yes. She's got frost all over her face.
She does.
Okay, here we go.
Did you see the big sundogs this morning?
Yes, I did. Yeah, in fact, I was just talking about it on the video.
See you later. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Come on.
I hope you don't mind being on YouTube.